Yo guys, what's up? I'm back again with another video. This time it's a reading one. And this time we are reading a long story, like 20 pages. Oof. And it's written by nobody else than me, myself. Okay, let's get started. Without any further ado, let's go. Okay, War of Empires. Chapter 1 Tensions. Once upon a time, there were two empires called the British Empire and the Russian Empire. Both were really strong and feared around the world. They both had tensions rising on each other. They both were becoming strong and developing. The leader of the Russian Empire, Constantine Hamel, and the leader of the British Empire, King Murad Ahmed, who were both really strong. They had the strongest armies in the world. Both feared each other. They thought that one of them is going to take the other's empire. The tensions were rising. They tried to talk it out, but were not able to, and the war started. The war has started. Chapter 2 The war started. The war had started. The British and the Russian Empire were now in war, and the Russian Empire uh, did the first attack on British Empire. British Axala first. It attacked on the northeast coast of Axala. Axala is basically the Alaska of the fictional universe here, and that Axala is like hot and pretty habitable, pretty like it has a tropical temperature and it's fine. So like it has like a really large population of like I don't know 70 million. Yeah, I would say it that much. Northeast coast of Exile and were pretty successful and got the province of Orkafta. Orkafta, totally fictional. Okay, it's totally fictional. But the British were angry, really angry, so they tried to push the Russians out and were successful, but they did not give up there. They even attacked the islands of Somala and were successful and got most of them. The British were winning, but the Russians were not weak as well. They attacked the British Africal territory. Africa is basically the Africa of the fictional universe, if you are asking. And yes, there is nothing like a Sahara Desert. The Sahara Desert is now a whole forest. Yeah, but yes, still a little bit more people live there at least. They attacked the British Africa territories as it was the less guarded and got Egypt and Sudan. This was a large advantage because now they had the Suez Canal, the Suez Canal of the fictional universe, okay? Like the Suez Canal, you know that, right? Mm? Right? Yeah, you know that. And could stop British trade from Africa now. The British felt ashamed, but they did not give up and got ASU and Boston as allies and attacked the territory of Kingston. It was a furious battle, but the British won, but both empires lost resources. Now, to clear who ASU and Boston are, like the ASU is basically the US, but it's like a lot bigger in this universe. It has like less oil, it's less habitable. It has only like population of around like 13 million. That's like what that's I don't know a quarter of the population of the US right now. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Okay. And Boston is kind of like the Brazil, kinda. It doesn't act like it does. Well, it doesn't have like the Amazon rainforest. It's like rich in oil and minerals, and it's way richer than real life in Brazil. Okay, that's who uh, uh, is in Nebraska. And Yingston, the territory of Yingston, it's basically like Argentina of the Argentina of the fictional universe. Hmm. Okay, now that we are done with that, let's go. Okay. Chapter 3, Getting Resources. The empires had lost resources, so they decided to stop war for some time and decided to get some resources as their people were starving. That's why they stopped war. The British got resources from ASU and Namor Empire and Braston. Now the Namor Empire is kinda like Italy, but in the Roman ages, but it's 2022 in this universe. But still, Italy is like the Roman Empire. Okay, this is like the fictional Roman Empire, or you can call it fictional Italy. Italy, Pisa, Cantare. Like it's like area is around 20 million square kilometers. Pretty impressive and pretty large as well. And the Russian got from the Nias Empire. But the Russian king Stanton had died, so they had to replace him with his son, Prince Nelson Hemor. Nelson Hemor. Oh, Nelson Hemor. It's a fictional one, okay? And I just love Nelson Hemor. He's like one of my most favorite fictional characters, even though he's so wealthy. Nelson Hemor is like I created him myself, but I just like him. He's just good. Most. And if you have been wondering how Stanton Hemor looks like, he looks like this. Yes, Stanton Hemor looks like this. If you like it. My friend drew it for me. Shout out to him, Hamza Ahmed, or his channel's name Your Mom. No, I'm serious. His channel's name is Your Mom. I'm just advertising his channel. I don't care. No. He was a ruthless dictator and killed many people, especially Muslims. He hated them. Yeah, he's still fictional, okay? No one such bad can ever be living on Earth. Never. I don't think so. Chapter 4, Getting New Weapons and war. The empires were ready for war. This time, the British attacked first on the Speleto Islands, or the Sparkly Islands in real life, but they are now owned by the Russians or the Rudians in this fictional universe. Right. And got all the set of the islands, but lost a lot of naval ships as they were way more protected than they thought. The Russian king was angry, so he sent some spies to the British capital London, kinda similar there. London, London. The spies got the information that they were going to attack Gildan next. The Rugians protected the territory of Gildan. The British were surprised with its protection, so they had to retreat. But the Russian Empire didn't stop there. They even attacked Elvena so that they can get land, and they got most of it. The British even decided to get land, so they decided to attack the Kingdom of Sabon and got most of it, and kept the rest of it as a puppet nation. This was a huge advantage, as there were a lot of minerals and oil. The British started mining minerals and oil, and soon got a lot of it, so they decided to attack Russian territory. They decided to attack Lutengren in North Elmarnik. North Omanic or North America, the fictional North America of this universe. Okay? North Omanic, kinda similar to North America, but totally different. Yeah? Okay? And got it fairly easy. The Russians were really shocked on the progress of the British. Had the British had made Nelson got angry, so he decided to go. 1,000 British men. I didn't knew about this part because I decided to let my friend write like one pair, three sentences, and I was not allowed to read it until I like posted a video about it. And like 1,000 British men, that's a lot. The world was in shock. They never thought he could do such a thing. The British got angry, so they decided to attack some Russian islands and got all of them. Russians decided to attack a British African territory, but only got about 90,000 kilometers of land. Yeah, I think that's like a lot of land, but a little bit of land considering the sheer size of the empire of Lucians. Like it's around the size of the real life British Empire, and that means that the British is a bit larger, right? No, it's actually a bit smaller. You didn't know that? Yep, now you know. Chapter 4. Okay, this one is like gonna get kind of weird. Okay, kind of off topic. Okay, so like be warned, it's going to be cool as well, and it's the last chapter as well. The British were winning now, but the Russians had started to lose faith on the government, so they started a revolution. So now the country was communist. Wait, a communist country? That gives me Soviet vibes. Stalin, Lenin, Soviet vibes. Sayuta Grenade, whatever that was. So now the country was a communist and way more powerful than before. And the new leader was Mulgar who was a great leader and politician. The Russians and the British were now really strong, but the Russians were one step ahead as they had invented the nuclear bomb. Yeah, the nuclear bomb was invented just right now, a few seconds ago in this universe. The fictional one, and decided to throw it in the sea and explode it, and had a naval war with the British, but something had happened. The sea had started to show a large tentacle, which destroyed a ship, and that large tentacle turned into a large squid with a human body, the Kraken. He was a gigantic squid-like creature with a human body and legs. The shipmen were terrified after taking a look at him. They tried to run away but were not able to and became the Kraken's breakfast. Well, I hope the ships taste good. I don't think so petrol tastes good. Nor nuclear bombs. Or nuclear energy. The Kraken screamed after eating them, and went towards the Russian Empire as it disturbed his peace. After he reached the shore, he screamed, Where is Arthur and Nelson? They have to do their OD exercises. No, I mean, I'm going to kill them. And went towards the palace where King Nelson resides. In a lot of soldiers and tanks went to stop him, but were too weak. At least he reached the palace, and said to Nelson, you and your kingdom have killed the peace inside me, and I shall take revenge. King Nelson and Sulphur said, "No, please, forgive me. I will never mess with your peace and never do war." The Kraken shows no mercy and killed him. The Kraken next decided to destroy even more buildings and decided to do his hidden super attack, which destroyed the whole capital and neighboring cities, and no one was left alive. The Kraken made a throne for himself and called himself the leader of the world. When it was when it was broadcasted live around the world, everyone got scared and started praying for their lives. But when the news came to the British king, he was angry but kinda happy at the same time as well. He was angry because he wanted to rule the world, but the Kraken is ruling over it, and happy because the Russians are dead. Yeah, they're dead. The world had one last piece of help. All of them could come together and defeat the Kraken, the monster, or they decided to work together and kill the Kraken. Every single warrior did their best to kill the Kraken and his minions, but were unsuccessful. Totally unsuccessful. They were a failure, and many even died. Now rest in peace, those dead soldiers. Okay, back to the story. The Kraken got furious and said, "This is your last chance. If you try to kill me again, you are going to die." Chapter 5, Death of Kraken. This is actually the most interesting chapter ever, and the last one as well. Now, Kraken's army was even larger than before. Everyone was scared, but a piece of hope once again came. As the scientists examining the Kraken secretly in an agency called Kraken Destroyers, short for KD, found out that his weakness is the crystal that is inside of his body. And but was someone needed to hit that crystal really hard with a sphere. That one which we hit like ting ting, Okay, and then like they hit they needed a warrior to do that, because no normal person just goes and destroys their life just to save the whole humanity. But like I'd rather give it a shot. Then like one person came up. His name was Mulhamdu Alhamdiri. Yeah, Mulhamdu Alhamdiri. And he said, "I'm going to destroy that Kraken. He killed my family in the Ruthians. And the Ruthians are my family. And I'm a soldier. So maybe I'm trained." Okay. Okay. This is kind of fun. And then they, like, that warrior came to the Kraken and said, "I'm going to worship you," and all that other stuff. But then he like opened his jetpack. Alright, he flew. The Kraken was like, "What are you doing? Why are you flying?" And then the guy hit the Kraken's chest, and a large explosion happened. And the Kraken was dead, same with his minions. Uh, but the like the whole but the like whole the whole like area on which the Kraken was sitting, it got destroyed, totally destroyed. Okay, and the nearby areas as well. Okay, it was like a nuclear blast. Okay, and then the British one kinda, And then the Rutian surrendered because no Rutian was there except one, and he's dead now because he killed the Kraken and died in the process. He was honored and honored a lot. And then we find out the story was just being told by a grandpa who's like 95 years old. Okay? This was a good one, right? Right? Did you like my story? Or did you not? If you liked my story, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. But yeah, this was a long video anyways. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Sorry if you hear background noises, but it's fine.